Update: before bonuses were announced, my boss fired me, saying bonuses are wasted on high school graduates. Holding back my laughter, I asked, is it okay for me to quit today? The next day, after I resigned right away, my boss freaked out and called me non-stop. Part 2. Since then, I've been on my own. While enduring Jack's snide remarks and reprimands, I continued negotiations with the well-known corporation. The contract was substantial, requiring thorough preparation. However, on the day of our final meeting, disaster struck. I realized that the carefully prepared distribution materials were inexplicably missing from my bag. Smirking, Jack approached me. Oh, were those important? They seemed so shabby, I took them for trash. Stunned, I listened as Jack continued. This might ruin the contract. A significant deal like this was probably beyond your capabilities anyway. Did Jack prioritize surpassing me over the company's success? Suppressing my anger, I ignored his gloating expression and rushed out with the materials I had. Fortunately, a nearly identical PowerPoint presentation, although I initially created it in PowerPoint, had been remade in print format for better readability. In the end, we successfully navigated the final meeting, and the contract was signed. This might lead to a promotion. With the bonus coming up, maybe I'll treat my grandparents to dinner. Jack grumbled while reluctantly acknowledging my achievement. However, a week after finalizing the contract, on the eve of bonus payment day, I arrived at work feeling excited. But as soon as I got there, Jack summoned me. He accused me of embezzlement, claiming that I had secured a contract with another company at an unusually low price and pocketed the difference. I haven't done anything like that, I protested. Jack responded, we have substantial evidence. If this gets out, you'll be fired for sure, but if you sign the resignation letter now, I'll take responsibility and cover it up. You're a criminal for embezzlement, but you're also the one who secured the deal with a major corporation. With that, Jack handed me a prepared resignation letter and my salary statement. He lifted the salary statement, tore it up right in front of me, and sneered, bonuses are wasted on high school graduates. Then he chuckled crudely, I never embezzled anything. The evidence Jack showed me was cleverly fabricated but entirely baseless. He must have prepared it to discredit me, seizing the opportunity on the eve of bonuses to lure me into this trap. I knew he disliked me, but I never expected it to go this far. After you leave, I'll take over as the person in charge of that contract. Rest assured, I'll handle it responsibly. So go ahead and quit the company. It seems that Jack's intention was to take credit for my achievements. Can there really be people in this world who do such unbelievable things? Faced with this shocking reality, I couldn't help but feel like laughing. However, if I laughed here, Jack would probably consider me abnormal. Is it okay for me to leave today? I asked. Yeah, you can quit today, Jack said. Understood. I'll sign the resignation letter. Seeing me trembling as I tried to hold back my laughter, Jack misunderstood my agitation as frustration. With a cheerful demeanor, he offered me his pen. You can borrow my pen. I returned to my desk, signed the resignation letter, and quickly packed my belongings. While other employees looked surprised, I didn't respond to their expressions. As I left the sales department with my packed belongings, Jack saw me off with a lecturer's grin. The day before bonuses were announced, my boss fired me, saying that bonuses are wasted on high school graduates. Holding back my laughter, I asked, is it okay for me to quit today? The next day, after resigning immediately, my boss panicked and called me incessantly. The day after I quit, I was at home feeling lost. I had already explained everything to my grandmother. My grandfather, however, scolded me, wondering why I hadn't consulted with him. As for Jack, I figured it was my problem. It wasn't uncommon to be disliked by someone at work, so I decided not to make a big fuss and didn't consult anyone, neither my coworkers nor my family. I never expected Jack to go so far as to force me out like this. In hindsight, maybe I should have followed my grandfather's advice and talked to someone. But now it's too late. I need to find a new job. As I was preparing to head to the Public Employment Security Office, I received an unexpected call from Jack. Come here immediately, he demanded. Didn't I officially resign yesterday? I asked. That doesn't matter now. It's a direct order from me, your boss. Get to the office right away. With those words, Jack hung up. Despite knowing he was the one who pushed me to resign, I put on my suit and headed back to the company. When I arrived at the company and was led to the meeting room, Mr. Brown exclaimed, well, George, looks like an executive is here. The person before me wasn't just an ordinary employee. He was a middle-aged man dressed in a high-end suit, wearing a gentle smile. Mr. Brown, you're here, I said, surprised, addressing him by name. He was the vice president of the major corporation I had secured a contract with. Sitting across from Mr. Brown was a pale-faced Jack. Seeing Jack, Mr. Brown sighed and said, George, didn't you promise to have dinner with Richard and the others once your bonus came through? Yet Richard contacted me yesterday, surprised that you'd been set up. People in this world do unbelievable things. Richard, as Mr. Brown mentioned, was my grandfather. Yes, Mr. Brown and my grandfather were classmates and good friends. A few years after I joined the company, my grandfather attended a high school reunion. There, he reconnected with his old friend, Mr. Brown. One day, my grandfather asked Mr. Brown, who always seemed downcast, why he appeared so low-spirited. Mr. Brown confessed that his elderly cat had lost its appetite, and although it was inevitable due to old age, he felt concerned. That's when my grandfather recommended the senior cat pet food produced by my company. Although Mr. Brown was aware of pet food, he hadn't considered trying it until he learned it was made by his friend's grandchild's company. To his surprise, the cat responded well, regained energy, and seemed happier. Mr. Brown expressed gratitude, saying that, thanks to our company's product, he could spend more time with his beloved pet.